How to trade earnings in 2018 is the topic of this week's episode of Liquid Options. Liquid Options is a weekly show I put on or try to put on every Wednesday night about options. And in this episode, I'm going to show you how to use CML Trade Machine to find and research backtested earnings trade. And I'll even show you how to set up your own trading alerts inside the software. And so for today's example, we're going to look at Microsoft, a Microsoft trade that's been doing really well. I've been trading it the past several quarters. And the cool thing about this trade is it actually avoids the earnings risk because you're not going to be in the trade during the actual earnings call. So there's really no earnings risk. So that's going to be interesting, I think, for you. And real quick, if this is your first time stopping by the YouTube channel, be sure to subscribe and click that little bell so you don't miss an episode. And also, I'm going to be launching a new options research center coming very, very soon. I think you're going to find it super helpful, especially if you're getting started with options. A lot of reports and research on various types of spreads and stuff. So depending on when you're watching this video, it may already be ready. So be sure to check the description, and I'll put all the details there and the links and everything. You can check that out. All right, so how to trade earnings in 2018 is coming right up. All right, so two things before we dive into the CML software. So first, I want to let you know just right up front, CML is not a free program. It is a paid subscription in which I am a happy monthly paying subscriber. If you're interested in learning more about the software, obviously you can check that out. I'm going to put a link in the description if you want to check this out on your own. I think you're going to find it super interesting. If you've been following me for a while, you've probably seen this before, so not a big deal. But again, check the description. I always put things in the description, so if you want to get updated on the latest tools and free tools, paid tools, definitely check that out. So the second thing is I want to definitely reiterate to you that this video, as well as all the other videos on this channel, they are for educational purposes only. They should not be considered financial advice. So although today we're going to talk about the Microsoft trade, it is for educational purposes only. So let's get started. So I'm in the logged in. It's a web software or a web app, and I'm on the ProScan tab. And you can do a couple things. You can do search by strategy or ticker. I'm going to search by strategy. So let's say you like a particular, I'm going to search by ticker. Let's say you like to trade a certain stock, Apple, Google, whatever. Today, I'm going to choose Microsoft. So I'm going to simply put in the ticker. I'm going to hit enter, and it's going to come up with the best earnings type strategies and pre-earnings, post-earnings, avoiding earnings. So you can really hone in on what strategies for a particular stock. This is really one of the powerful tools of CML. The one we're going to look at today is the 7-day pre-earnings momentum long call. It's kind of a long-winded way of saying we're going to buy a call before earnings and close it before earnings, with the idea that the week or so before earnings, volatility tends to increase. So if you buy options, they can increase in value. I know a lot of times another way to trade earnings is to, basically sell an iron condor around the earnings and the day before earnings around the stock, and then the day after you hope that the stock stays in between those range and you get a volatility crush. So this is not that. This is trading a volatility increase and obviously to the long side because we're buying a call. Now they have some other trades in here. It's sorted by win rate. The 7-day pre-earnings straddle has actually been pretty good, but you can see the average trade is 8%, which is pretty good. You buy a call and a put. And this is the past, this is per quarter. So quarterly earnings for the past year, this has been pretty good. But I really like the 7-day pre-earnings momentum long call. So let's click on that. And it's going to kind of go into the backtest tab. And you can kind of see what the parameters here are. So it's a call. We're going to buy the call. It fills it out for you. Custom earnings. We'll look at that in a second. One thing to note here is what it's doing is after you enter that trade 7 days before, it's saying, okay, take profit when you reach a 40% gain and put a 40% stop loss on there. So it's not a complete risk. There is a target and a stop loss that you can put in or put on right after you get into the trade. The custom earnings piece is this. open the position 7 days before earnings and close the position 1 day before earnings. And then you can, there's some other tools here. We're not going to look at that, but you can play around with that. If the trade had an up move of 5%, only include those results. So that's not being included in these results. So essentially, you're not trading the earnings announcement. You're not in the trade when they make that call. You're trading before and getting out before, looking for the volatility increase, and obviously a delta move higher would be good as well. So here's the results for the last 12 quarters. That's about 3 years. And you're trading the weekly options that are of the week before the expiration. So you need to have 7 days. So if earnings is tomorrow, you're not going to want to buy, or in 7 days, you're not going to want to buy the options that expire in 3 days. You need to be in the trade for 7 days, or at least until you get your 40% gain or loss. So let's go ahead and look at some of the details of this back test. So we'll just kind of start from top to bottom. So the total return was $444. This is doing one contract. The average or the percent return over that period. Now you can see it's basing that off of this. I don't really like to look at that. It's very misleading. You're going to get too excited because this is looking at what you actually risked. There's some basic commissions built in here. The average percent return was about 41%. So that's about in line with our 40% gain, 40% loss. It was at 91% win rate. The average win was $49. The average loss was $97. And the percent win for, there's some additional information here. The other thing you can do is actually, if you want to get more detailed, you can download or copy all the actual trades for that period. So in this case, we're looking at 3 years, 12 trades, 1 trade per quarter. And so, it's really, really good information. So I really like the tool. So now let's say that you want to say, okay, I want to look at this trade. Maybe you don't want to trade it. Maybe you want to track it. The next thing you do with the software is say, okay, I'm going to go over to the alerts tab. And what we can do now is basically set our own alert for that trade. So we're going to put in Microsoft. Days before earnings, you can see there's other things here, right? So days before earnings, we're going to do 7 days before earnings. You can put in your email address. You can put in your phone number if you want to get a text alert. I'm not going to put that there because I don't want you guys calling me. You can email me. Hey, if you want to email me with any questions, go ahead and email me, but please don't text me. I won't put my number there. So basically that's it. So we want to know Microsoft days before earnings 7. You got your email in there. You can also put a note. So what I would like to do is put, okay, this is a 7-day pre-earnings long call. That way I kind of know what the alert means. So I'm going to add the alert and it's going to put it in here. So you can go through and, put in whatever you want. If you go back to the scan tab and you say, okay, I want to trade Tesla. Okay, let's see what Tesla, some of what Tesla's trades. Here's some 1 day after jump. I don't even know what this is. I'm just kind of looking at, but there's a lot of different things you can do here. So if you'll say, oh, you know what, this one seems pretty good. One month after earnings short put spread. So if you're a vertical spread seller like me, maybe you want to look at this. Maybe after earnings, a month after earnings, you trade this where you would avoid earnings and have pretty good record there. So super valuable tool. I definitely recommend it. I'm going to put a link in the description. And a quick reminder, I'm launching a new option research center. I will also put that in the description when it's ready. If you're watching this video right away, thank you for watching, but you may have to wait another week. If you're watching this video in a couple weeks, it should be ready. I hope you guys will join me there. I'm going to be posting all kinds of option related research for spreads, indexes, stocks, and I really think you're going to enjoy that. If you like this type of data, you're going to love the Option Research Center. So that is coming. Make sure you subscribe. I appreciate your watching, and we'll see you at the next episode.